bones that link to the cochlea. So sometimes a child is born with 3 bones, but they
3 months old.
oh, so when it's 3 months old, and then the hearing.
Then the bone grows together. And then at the same time, that person had an operation or maybe a car accident and then it damaged that. But that we had a 3D printer that built a new mold because this old mold inside broke. So that's just a new mold that they made to put in so he can hear. But not all deaf people can go for that and hear. The problem is that his 3 bones by his cochlea, due to the car accident, are damaged. So that's why. But not meaning that all deaf people can hear at the end of the day. Please be careful for the fake news and what you read.
Like a person growing up hearing, and then one ear is deafened, then they can fix it. The person can hear, but it doesn't mean every deaf person can hear. So, and also they're still experimenting with this thing. Not everyone is gonna go in and be operated. So it's still on its way. Okay, now I have another question to ask, and then that means we'll be. Are you guys done with your assignments? Have you finished? I'm done. I'm done with mine. No, I'm not done. So now, how is it? The assignment was okay. Because I spoke with my team, and I feel like we had the same views. Same views with who?
With our principal. Yeah.
With the principal, and
The 3 of
the
us.
3 of us had the same view. Who's the 3rd person? The 4th one? The school father.
Ifata.
Sorry, Ifata school. Oh, we created a WhatsApp group, and also we've emailed the document with questions, and we've added more questions to the document, and also we identified the same problems, we added pictures, and so do you feel your summary helped you at all? And also, did it help you with anything regarding the course? Say yes. I guess. I know you said you had a problem with the principal at school. My problem was with the LMS. And
Yeah, so there was a few things that I didn't know, but I went to Stellenbosch. But it would be nice if the others could also be part of it, and if the department could give funding for that.
others, why did you not do your assignment? Why are you not done? Is it because you confused all? I am confused with the assignment. I don't have enough time to, because I do not even have time for my breaks. I have to be working at all times. And I live very far, so I don't have enough time to do my work at all. So which is why I could not do my assignment. I'm very sorry. So we need to know why we didn't do your assignment, so that we can try and solve whatever problem that we have. All of us have the same challenge. Okay. Have you guys already opened your Vula? Did your assignment online? Vula. There's presentations on Vula.
Okay, she's explaining to her what Vula is again.
Vula is an online, you remember the presentations that we have, the PowerPoints we have, everything is on Vula, so that's where you get it. So really you didn't do it, you guys. I went on Vula. Sometimes I have a problem in matching, in terms of in matching what the document says and what I need to to write. For example, matching the whatever rules are in the on Vula with the rules of the hostel. So you want to share information that you get from Vula. For example, Tsepo's presentation, Velma's presentation, everything is on Vula. When you open the website, you can download, and then you can ask your principal to read, because the information that is there is very important. You must share your information, as well as when you have staff meetings, you must always share the information that you download from Vula. The
I
problem is
have
with
asked for the Afrikaans version in it, but I know
I
the
haven't got it.
translation in that that's fine.
Translation is a major problem.
Yeah, maybe you also want it in isiXhosa. No, I'm English, so I'm perfectly fine.
Chinese.
Okay, so the last question. Any other, maybe there's something you would like to ask me or add, anything about the course? I think 2 weeks ago we had a meeting, but before that I always complained and I said that I want the teacher who's doing English. I think she's doing, that's the sign of the teacher, she's doing grade 7. Yeah. So there's one teacher who teaches English, but she doesn't have an assistant teacher. And I complained and I said that she needs an assistant teacher because she's teaching English. And things just got a bit chaotic. But at Witterboomer School emailed our principal and said that the children, they cannot read and their sign structures out of control. And they called all the assistant teachers and they said that our sign language that we learned, we have to leave that and we have to follow Talabat sign language structure. And then, like, for example, fruit, that is their sign for fruit. And then I said, no, but this is my sign for fruit. And I said, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to use Talabat sign. And then they also say that we must use SSL because the children at Witterboomer School is confused. So I said, I'm sorry, I am not doing Witterboomer Science because I don't know it. So it means that like America and Witterboomer School, all the schools in the Western Cape must only focus on that book, that from Talabat. But I mean, my sign, I have to leave and I must just follow and do Talabat's South African sign language. Almost like everyone must now just do that. Everyone here in the Western Cape. And I mean, I'm shocked. I feel that is unacceptable. But remember when we went for training, the sign language something, and the man said, you do your sign language, you teach it, but now they say no, you must just only focus on Talabat sign because it makes the children confused. And then vegetable is like this, that's the sign for vegetable. Remember when we had a meeting and we had the SSL meeting, and I think it was at Stellenbosch University, and then I couldn't understand it, and then they said that all of us must use this SSL, Western Cape SSL, but it's totally confusing. Okay, you from Eastern Cape, let's hear your story. Yeah, he's a foreigner. I just want to add on to that. You see, when you analyze this, does it link to the education? I mean, the facilitator also wants to be part of it, and also the Ingrid, like Ingrid's organization. Well, I don't know what the principal, yeah, that also needs to be involved, and also the other different special schools must be involved, yeah. Reason being is that this is fine, the presentation, but when you come at the school, then it's a big conflict. And they say, no, you're not allowed to do this and you're allowed to do that. And I mean, and there's where we all drifting off. I mean, we're supposed to be all on one page. I mean, see here now, I didn't even know about this, what they're doing. And I mean, we also need to be part of this because we need to know what is happening regarding this. Yeah, I think I was there for the first time in Pretoria, so it was the first time for me. I just want to add on to, what was it? Oh, mental health problem for children who has cochlea and hearing aids and all that. The most important is the emotional problems. I know Ingrid them have that, but I think that maybe we should have it here also, like this social workers and psychologists and that, because there are a lot of abuse and things that's happening. So, I mean, I can't do this. I can't advise a deaf child. I'm a deaf person. I'm an assistant teacher, but I mean, it's very emotional to work with children who has a lot of problems. And then also we as assistants, we never go to special workshops. We only like go to this or whatever the schools pick for us to go. Maybe we want to ask some questions, like for example, like maybe we're saying like the teacher's signs the children don't understand, but the child, when we sign in, the child understands what we are saying. So maybe the child wants to say something and then the child is being oppressed. So I think that we want to be linked with a hearing teacher, but the teacher feels, we more smarter than you. And then we have to do the self-development. And then they're like, I mean, we are supposed to be affiliated to DEFSA. I mean, like they have the welfare problems and things like that, but then they chase DEFSA away. But I mean, how can the staff be developed if they are not accepting and doing what they are supposed to be doing? So the assistants need more development opportunities, yes. And also the English presentation, that the concern that we is it worry or concern? I'm not sure. But each one is different. I mean, each one's programs are also different. I mean, we can't see what's really happening, like what is wrong. But I mean, whatever's wrong, we need to fix. So that programs we need to be there to lead. Because I mean, it's a big concern. It's worrying because now they're saying it's not their problem. Why are they not helping or doing anything? But why are we just being, told you can't do this, otherwise you're going to be fired or things like that? I mean, it's not right. Now, exactly what you're saying now, they also. Oh, sorry, I'm going to be a bit off from the topic. As she said earlier on about the sign language that we have to do, we have to copy Delabat. But I mean, we are the whole of Western Cape. I mean, at the college they had something of America, and they had to use their sign language, and the college said, no, don't use that, you need to follow this, that's in this curriculum. But for me, I feel it's very confusing because, so why do we have to follow Delabat signs? So when you compare this, so who gave them the right to do to choose the sign? Did the government give them permission? Did the college give them permission? Because each one has their own way of signing, their own dialects. I mean, where does it come from? Who gave them permission? And I mean, we can't just want to now drop our signs. I mean, it's our language. How can they tell us to follow this book? It's almost like they're telling us that we are stupid. We can't use our sign. We have to look what the hearing teachers are telling and forcing us to do. And I mean, it's supposed to be our language because this is mine. And it's very, very bad. Yeah, so we need a leader to come. We need a leader to come. Why want you to come and to solve this problem?
This is really, what you're saying is really important. If I'm newly appointed, if I'm newly appointed,
We can't
And-
see what is happening in the child's brain, you know, but we can identify by the facial expression and the body language. And then they will just say, oh, he's deaf, he can't just go to the skills class. But then I say, no, you can't just say so. You are not a brain doctor. I mean, you can't just say the child is stupid, the child must go to the skills. By helping and developing and teaching this child and teaching this child the proper structure, body language and movements with pictures and things, then that child's brain is developing because he or she is learning. And at the end of the day, they can write, they can read, they can sign, and they can stand with confidence. But you know, at the beginning, everyone is scared and they're nervous, but now that child can do that. So when we ask him, spell your name, that child can spell his or her name. I mean, but so why just jump the gun and say, oh, this child is illiterate, put the child in the skills class? It's unacceptable. And also, I'm not happy. What I'm also not happy about is that the teachers pretend like, oh, okay, just do this quickly, I'm going to a meeting. But then they go and chill and all this. And when I have to sit with these children and teaching them and developing them. So now this child is in grade 1, and December, you know, they graduated, they had a small graduation ceremony, and the teacher wanted to say all these things of how I taught, but then I looked at her and I thought to myself, but you didn't teach. And I called her and I said, it's not fair. I'm not happy about it.
this is a huge issue. They just look at the child and put them in the skills, It's not allowed to just look at a child. They should make full assessment. They should involve psychologists. They should bring OTs. They should do the full assessment to identify where the child needs to be. They should identify what the problem is, and then they identify if academically they're not going to be well. They can't just say, let's put him in the cooking class because this child is deaf. And because we see that this person is deaf, so they don't deserve to be in academics. No. So, and sometimes the schools are packed. So they give us responsibilities also of giving them the meds and everything else.
It's very irritating.
With in the course, in the
Also with this course, the various PowerPoints that we saw, and I mean, for me, I feel South Africa can't do this. I'm not sure what the sign is. Oh, try. Oh.
you should start doing research as well. Yes, we can put South Africa as well, but we want to focus more in South Africa, the issues that are happening. But we don't have as much research as we need. We don't have proper scientific research. We need to do more research about these issues that are happening in South Africa, so as to encourage. And also, in terms of language, you should do more research on that. Just to add on that, with the speakers and
In Eastern Cape, I think they need to all link together and represent one, because I mean, we all are whole, we all one.
I accept what you're saying, but now what I'm explaining to you, I will explain it now. Many presenters are from Western Cape, so they have financial limitations. So they told me that they found funding from outside. So I was like, oh my word. And told them, please, we need England to come, we need Sepe to come, we need people to come, please. So I tried, and then they accepted. So now, if, for example, then we go to the Eastern Cape, we have a workshop for all deaf assistant teachers and teachers in the deaf schools. Then we will we'll send out a call in the Eastern Cape, and then we'll ask a professional person to come and address. We will try and do as exactly that we did here in the Western Cape. Okay. You must try, please. Okay, yeah, we'll do so.
Yeah.
So you can involve universities, University of the States, the Bosch, different universities, and can come together and make a workshop. And okay, we have different universities in the Eastern Cape that should come. We have different universities in Wusu, NMMU, Nelson Mandela University. So now, if these universities do not come, then how will this be possible? I don't think it is going to happen. Everything is, we need to try and establish or bring universities on board. Are you in the University of the Free State? Okay, I've just been thinking now. But there's no focus on deaf. They're focusing on the old. Okay. They're focusing on the old signs. So now we need.
Okay, I'll listen. Like the principal at the school is not really focused on sign language. They will know if they appoint a teacher and then here your assistant teacher, but none of them has any knowledge. They're at the school for the deaf, but they're mostly oppressing the deaf at the end of the day. They are totally not focused on deaf. And also they don't have any sign language within them. So when you say something and then it's really not being recognized.
Just one thing to add on what you're saying. If you guys want to become teachers, you need to have a qualification. So you should, I feel like in the future we should lobby for the government to have rules. If someone teaches at deaf school, they should have sign language. But for now it's not happening, but we should fight for this to happen in future. Okay. In terms of the principles, we do not have, we
Okay, sorry, I'm going to be a bit off from topic now. But I want to say, I'm sorry for this. The principal that appoints hearing teachers, but in the class, who is teaching the children is the assistant. The children learn from who? The assistant, like me. I'm standing here. So, when the children come in from home, coming to school, they are hungry. I mean, the teachers don't do that. We do it. We, the assistants, do this. So when we ask the teachers, when are you going to teach us children? Then they say, it's your responsibility. But now, last month, I'm not sure, but we had a meeting. I complained about this. About when a child gets sick and that, the assistant must clean it up. If the child messes on themselves, I have to clean it. So now, in my class time is from 8. Sometimes we put in the hall, you have to give the children food and you have to do all this. When they're in the playground, you have to be with them. So what is the teacher's responsibility? I kept quiet and I've been patient so long. I've done my job, I've been teaching the children. But when the time when you go home, 1:30, then they said, come, you assistant, you must clean here and you must clean there and you must sweep and mop. But before that, I did your work. I taught your children to develop. I'm also tired. You can also help me to clean here. So why are you giving all your responsibility to me? So I want to know whose responsibility, what is this responsibility of us?
Remember we talked about roles before, so this is exactly what you're talking about. I will definitely note what you're telling me now. I don't feel Terry can help solve this problem, but they will note it down. And then they cannot, they will take over, DEFSA will take over the issue. Remember Walmart talked about having a meeting and then with all assistant deaf teachers? And to remember that, I will remind Walmart again, they should talk about this issue.
So after our meeting, I went back and I asked what is my job description. I went and I did it. I cleaned. I looked after the children. So now I understand. But now when you go into the class and the teacher said, you must still do it. I had to do it. I'm the assistant. I had to settle down the children. So I sat and I said, I'm waiting for the teacher to come. And all day we sat in the class. The teacher did absolutely nothing. And then she spoke. And what do I understand what she is saying?
They really don't appreciate deaf assistant teachers at all. Sorry, just to add on what she just said now, I'm not happy at all. When I went to, we swapped classes the other time. I went in, the teacher was, they swapped roles. The teacher now becomes an assistant teacher. Then the assistant teacher does all the work of the teacher. Now the children are there. And the teacher sits behind the children. And the assistant teacher stands in front of the kids and they start teaching the entire day. The teacher sits there, folding the arms. So when I went in, I knocked and I entered, stood at the door and saw what was happening. How come the assistant deaf teacher is doing the work of the teacher? And because the teachers don't know anything about signing, and the only thing they love to do is talk in class. So now she is the one that has to come and she's the one that has to come. For example, she needs to go to the bathroom. The kids are going to, so in break time, in toilet time, now the assistant teacher is the one that has to get the kids to the bathroom as well. So now when she goes out, who will be teaching while she's out in the bathroom when the teacher is sitting behind the kids? Because now I feel like the teacher should be the one that is doing the teaching, and then only when they don't understand, then she calls them to come, she calls the assistant to come and explain, but they don't do that at all. So for many years this has been happening. I'm really concerned about this issue. They gave her a contract and then they tell her what to do. She has to clean the dishes for the kids and also has to come back and teach the class. This is really not fair. The teacher goes and complains to the HOD about her, saying that she doesn't work, she's lazy. But she does everything. She works, she teaches the kids. She takes the place of the teacher. When she goes out to the bathroom, the teacher stays behind and does nothing. So.
I just feel that we work hard, but we don't have a choice. I mean, I studied ECD, and the teachers and the principal know that I'm studying ECD, but because I have no sign language, that's why I came back to Nolutando School. Also, example, what Annette said about the interpreters and things like this. Then they will say, come, you must interpret, or the teacher don't understand sign language and we have to teach them and work in a class. I mean, they're really abusing us. I mean, it's a lot of things that we have to do, so. Sorry, the last point, everybody, the last point. Sorry, I'm going to be put off the topic. Here in South Africa, sign language is, say for example, for one word, a new word, but there's no sign for that word, and you look around and you ask around for the sign or something regarding this word. But maybe in Africa or overseas, maybe they have a sign and now they're borrowing. I mean, we shouldn't be borrowing signs. I mean, if we can sit together and develop our own signs, it will be much better for everybody. You must think of how to do that. Yeah, you can set up a WhatsApp group. Yeah, and then say the word and each one can come up with a sign. Almost like a translation book, like the Bible translation that they are busy doing it. It's exactly the same like that. Anyway, thank you everybody. It's a wrap up of our discussion. Maybe if there's something important, you can let me know and I'll write it down. I really need to go to the bathroom.